It's Arizona. Although I'm coming to you from, where am I coming to you from? Memphis, Nashville, somewhere. I forget what city I'm in half the time. Let's finish up with just some final information from Connie to give people information how they can get involved with BitGive and GiveTrack. Connie, go ahead and give us the details, and we will follow up soon, of course, with more information on this. This is just kind of a teaser of what Connie's up to right now, and then we're going to get into it with Chuck Williams, a UX developer for Dash.
Awesome. Okay. Well, great. Thanks so much for having me. So yeah, folks are interested in learning more about BitGive. They can go to our website, bitgivefoundation.org. And we're also on social media, Facebook and Twitter, our main channels. And then GiveTrack is where I was talking about the crowdfunding options for different projects, and that's at givetrack.org. And right now we have a really fun project that we're raising money for Open Mind Africa, which is a summer camp to help students develop mindset, character, and skills for academic and career success in Africa. And the camp is actually held in Ghana. So we're pretty excited about that. And then we have a couple more projects coming up pretty quickly. So there'll be some more options soon on GiveTrack.
Okay, and one more thing is, if people, we're trying to introduce people to cryptocurrencies on this show. If people aren't into cryptocurrencies yet, how can they get involved with what you're doing?
Oh, wow. Well, there's still plenty they can do. Lots of information on our website, so they can learn more about how to leverage this technology for philanthropy and why we're so focused on that. And then also on the GiveTrack platform, even if you just want to follow a project and you're not necessarily donating to it, you can do that. And there's just an easy follow button. And then you can actually see how it all works without necessarily being a donor and get more comfortable with how the system works and how it's different from maybe a different, some other way of, traditional donating.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Connie, and everybody stay tuned. We will have Connie back on soon with more updates. She's got a project that we're working on, or that she's working on, that's going to involve a lot of other charities, and it's kind of a way of getting the information out there of what other people are doing around the world with cryptocurrencies in the name of charity. So if you do have a charitable heart, here's a good reason for you to get involved with cryptocurrencies, just to find out more about this. And that's what this show is all about, is to try to get people involved with cryptocurrencies. Thanks so much, Connie. We'll talk to you later.
All right. Thanks so much.
Thanks, Connie.
All right. And Doug, we have Chuck Williams on the line. Chuck, are you there?
Great.
Yeah, can you guys hear me okay?
Oh, wow.
Yes.
You sound great. All righty. So Chuck is a UX developer, and when we started off the show, Doug and I were talking about the user experience with cryptocurrencies and how it's pretty much lacking. And this is something that Chuck has been working on for quite some time. Doug, what do you face most about the user interface in cryptocurrencies? I mean, what are some of the biggest questions? What would you want to ask Chuck about this?
I think a lot of the times when I have customers that I think more often it's the fear of the unknown. Now, there's certainly a ton of room for improvement in user experience in the app, across the different apps and things like that. But a lot of the times, this is why I always just say, just try it. Just try it once. And when they see that transaction go through and it takes under a minute, and then ding, they've received Bitcoin on their end, and they're going, why was I so intimidated trying to research this for the last week or whatever, and the simplicity of the process itself. But as far as the UX, there's room for improvement just across about every app. So I'm excited to hear what Dash is working on and what you're working on.
Yes. Well, you kind of hit the nail on the head right there. You really have to try crypto to just kind of understand what it's about. You can do research all day long, and you can look at economic policies, and you can look at history, but that's what UX is about. It's about understanding that moment, that experience where you've gone through your initiation of how to do a thing. I mean, I don't know how many people actually remember the first time they sent an email, or the first time they logged onto a website, or installed a browser, or even powered up a computer, or wrote their first line of code. But those are all like experiences that end up changing lives. If you're into that kind of thing, or if it brings value into your life, you're hooked. And I always like to say, no coiner, anybody who owns cryptocurrency, becomes a no coiner. I don't know if you're familiar, but there's a term going around the crypto sphere about how there's no coiners, people who don't own coins or aren't interested in owning coins, and they tend to be on one side of a particular kind of fence. But it is that experience. Once you've experienced it, it's going to change your mind in some way. You can continue not to like it, but you really have to experience it, and that's why experience is a very important aspect of the cryptocurrency space. So yeah, I agree with you. You do have to try it. There is that great fear of the unknown, and that's one of the things that I really love about what people do, like Dashforce News and Danny, going around to the conferences and just setting up wallets all day long. I must say that's probably the most effective adoption mechanism possible, and I think second only to, or not even second only, but maybe followed by the wallet itself, because there's so many options on wallets and things like that. But looking ahead, one of the things I love about Dash is that they are trying to make it simple for end users in a way that's going to bring personalization. They're going to have a username, and with usernames, you're going to be able to send and receive values. So that's going to open up a whole new horizon of experiences to build on top of, that's going to blend the banking and financial experience with the social experience. And I can't wait to see what comes out of that.
How do they separate that? So I want to send money to Joe or Ted. How do I know that Joe or Ted is not someone else? I mean, how do you...
The usernames are going to have to be unique. How do you make sure that you've got the right person on Twitter? It's kind of a risk if you're following them. Is that the right I mean, it's not as much of a risk because you're just following information. But if you're talking about financial transactions, I think most people are going to be naturally inclined to confirm the validity of a contact name by username as they would like a phone number. You just do a test transaction, or a test call, or a test text, or a test message even. That might come for free on this kind of network, where you can just do a quick message to make sure that you connected to the right person and then send the payment. I think there's all kinds of options there.
Right, definitely. Yeah, and I think one of the other things is, we're always talking about Classic Crust Pizza. That's a great way to really get the feel for this, is to go down there and actually purchase a beer, a slice of pizza, in a business that accepts it.
Yeah, there's no substitute. Sorry, Dan.
Person, but to actually use it in a business for commerce is really, really cool.
Go ahead.
There's no substitute to sitting down in front of someone that can consult or just walk you through it, versus trying to watch videos online. That's a one-way medium. It's a monologue where you can ask questions and get your questions answered and see it physically, right in front of your faces. There's no substitute for that, and that's exactly why we encourage and people to come down to see us at Classic Crust Pizza and get your questions answered.
Well,
I think that's great.
Where is Classic Crust Pizza, Doug? Give us the address, and if you're listening and you have any questions, it's 602-277-KFNX. So give us a call there. But Doug, go ahead. Where is Classic Crust Pizza, and how can someone come and set up a wallet, get some Dash or Bitcoin or whatever, and buy a pizza and a beer?
Yeah, that is at Cave Creek and Cactus Road. I pretty much go down there after each show every Wednesday, and I'm there on most other days too, but I be sure to get down there on Wednesdays, and so that you folks can come on down and chat with me. I had a gentleman come down last week, and I think you can see that aha moment as he kind of gets his questions answered, and so I think that experience is is the best way to get introduced
And it's
to cryptocurrency. And it's free.
Yeah, it's free. And did you buy him a beer at least using cryptocurrency?
No, he was he was just there requesting. He was telling Alex. He said, "I promise I'll come back and order something next time. I kind of just needed to ask some questions and bolt today, but I feel bad for him." But yeah, he said, "I'll come back down." That's the other thing is, I mean, who doesn't like pizza and beer?
And, in previous weeks, you had people down there asking you questions about some random currency that you didn't even know anything about. So if you've listened to some other show or you heard something on the internet about some crazy coin, maybe you should definitely get involved with the community and get some feedback from people who are not there to rip you off, who are just eager to help you and get you into the community.
Yep, and that is our thing. We are community focused, and so we just want to give you guys the pitfalls that could be coming.